Hey guys, Dynamics Gaming here, and today in this video I'm going to show you which thruster is the best for you. So it is up against the atmospheric thrusters, hydrogen and ion thrusters. So they're all actually color coded. Atmospheric thrusters are red, hydrogen thrusters are this camo blue, and ions are green. We will also be testing them all in ships, so we have hydrogen, atmospheric, and ion. If we come over to the ions, we have the large ion thruster and the ion thruster. These are both large grids. And then we have the large ion thruster and the ion thruster for small grids. So these, I'd say, are pretty expensive. Ion thrusters need thruster components, which are kind of an expensive item for beginners. Even when you're getting pretty good at the game, thruster components can be pretty expensive. Obviously the smaller ones take a lot less, they only take one thruster component, but I think they're one of the most expensive out of all three. Now, I learnt this the hard way. Ion thrusters do not work in Earth. So if you were to bring your drop pod, which is for space, you cannot bring that into Earth as it runs on ion thrusters. Ion thrusters are the weakest thrusters in the game, which means they do not work in most gravity fields. If we come over to the hydrogen, we have the large hydrogen thruster and the hydrogen thruster. These are both large grid, and the large hydrogen thruster and the hydrogen thruster for small grid. What's really annoying about these is you actually have to link them up to a hydrogen source, which means an O282 generator or a hydrogen tank. And you can't just have a hydrogen tank inside of your ship without conveying it. So you are going to need to get some conveyor tubes and... oh, wrong color. So you're going to want to get some conveyor tubes and actually link them up to get them working. If you do not link them up, it's not going to work. These have to be linked up to work to either a hydrogen tank or an O2H2 generator. These are the most powerful thrusters in the game, but they take ice to actually make the fuel, which can sometimes be hard for a lot of people unless you live by an ice lake, which is coincidentally what we are sitting on. Ion thrusters also run out of fuel the quickest, as it's constantly burning ice to make hydrogen. When trying to get out of an atmosphere, for example, just using one hydrogen tank can actually be pretty hard if your ship is heavy enough. And that is why people recommend to limit how much hydrogen you use when going out of an atmosphere. Yeah, you just need to be careful when using hydrogen thrusters. And then we come onto atmospheric thrusters. Atmospheric thrusters only work in Earth. I don't believe they work anywhere else. Maybe places with an atmosphere, but they don't work as well as Earth, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. Large atmospheric thruster, both large grid, and then there is the atmospheric thruster and the large atmospheric thruster, which is small grid. As I said, these only work on Earth, but it is the second strongest thruster in the game. So first of all it's hydrogen, then it's atmospheric, and then there's ions. Atmospheric thrusters only take power, so you don't need to convey them up, along with ion thrusters. To exit an atmosphere, you're going to at least need the atmospheric thrusters and the hydrogen thrusters, as there is a limit to where the atmospheric thrusters can actually bring you, and then you will start to slow down. That's when your hydrogen thrusters come in. And if you do actually have ion thrusters, when they can actually work, because they don't work so far down, and hydrogen thrusters need to be used to actually get out, as there is like an in-between where both of them don't work, you're going to need to activate your ions a lot later than, let's say, atmospheric or hydrogen. So I think that's enough explaining for now, and let's get on to testing. This is my hydrogen ship. It isn't built by me. I'm not sure who built it. I just found it on my blueprints. And yeah, we're going to test it. So hydrogen, as you can see, don't need that much power. So there's not a large reactor on this or anything like there is on the smaller ones. And they're also pretty fast. Obviously they are small grids, which means they break less, and they are also the smallest thrusters you can actually get. Overall, this runs pretty well, but you always need to keep an eye on the bottom right which I actually have no hydrogen in here. I'm just using creative tools. Now, pretty good ship. Yep, it does have not the best braking thrust. It would be nice to get a better one, but I mean, it's very compact. It also doesn't have a hydrogen tank, so it just runs off an O2H2 generator. If we come over to our atmospheric thrusters, since they take power, it needs a bigger reactor, which I just stuck one on top. So yeah, if I fly, it's not as fast. It also doesn't have the best braking thrust, nowhere near as good as the other one. And actually, when building this, I realized that it needed a lot more power than it actually had on it. So if you were to do an atmospheric one, you're going to need a bigger reactor. Now for the ions, I knew I was going to have to add this because I know it doesn't work on Earth. So yeah, as you just saw, it just fell to the ground. Now it actually still works, only one thruster is broken, but as you can see, it's not moving anywhere. It does actually have the landing gear on. Let me just take that off. Yeah, it's trying to move quite a bit, but yep, gyros work, definitely, but if I try lift off or anything, nothing works, and oh, Jesus. Yep, gyros work, it's just thrusters don't. I am actually holding W in space at the moment, but it doesn't work, so fail. As I said, this is all on you. It depends on what ship you're actually making, but yeah, if you're making a ship for space, obviously don't make it out of atmospheric thrusters. That's it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope this helped. Bye.